Reynor says you want to hop on. What we got? What we got, champ? Sure, I can hop on. Rostok. Banger. All right. We have a new game, guys. We're gonna go for Reynor versus Rostok. I said banger. He's good. Reynor says, is he? Laughing my ass off. He actually kind of is. He actually kind of is. Young kid from Ukraine, I believe. I believe he's Ukrainian. Eastern Europe, that's for sure. Pretty good. Let's see if we can make Reynor sweat a little. The NIDs in Dark Templar Yolan game almost fun. Yeah, that was good. Alright, so we have a new series. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a prediction. And we don't need to take a break. We're just going to hop right on into it. Yeah, Bully, what about that spoiler, mate? 10 minutes into the corner. I'm sure everybody thought that Bully could still make the magical comeback. Since he already spoiled it, can I settle this prediction? Is that okay? Ariana Grande. I like Ariana. She's cool, actually. All right. Reynor versus Rostok. 5.9k. Reynor also said he's sick, so keep that in mind. 5 minutes is all you guys get. You want to cast immediately? We can do that. Well, let's do it, mate. I'll share my screen with you. You can actually do me a solid. Video games. Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
I got in here right away just so I was ready, but I don't know if you have a spicy series lined up or not.
It's amazing, mate. Proper banger. Reynor versus Rostok.
Ooh.
All right. So, why don't you go ahead and do the intro so I can say goodbye to Vicky, and after that we'll talk about that performance of yours. Damn it, I cannot move the camera, but it's okay. You go do the intros and also tell the people about yourself. They want to know who this bully guy is.
Well, in the top left, playing for CSO eSports, it is Rostok, the Red Protoss, and in bottom right, hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Reynor. This is, as far as I can tell, some kind of European ladder hero. Don't ever really see him play in the EU Cups, so I assume this is someone who went on like a 5-0 win streak with Proxy Hatch and thought to himself, oh my god, I'm a pro gamer. No, it is Reynor playing for BASILISK eSports. Jack Frost arc has ended, and you are witnessing the very beginning of the championship arc. As for myself, North America's 215th best Protoss streamer, probably top 7,000 player as well, so don't want to get too big for my britches, but perhaps one of the most famous micro niche ultra Z list internet celebrities to have ever lived. You can catch my stream. You can find it under my username. Don't want to do too much self-promotion or Roddy will give me shit for several weeks, both in person and online. But you've seen me shitposting in the chat, I'm sure. I'm sure looking back at the VOD, I would see a lot of comments about the number of DTs made in that series. But I just want to say, for the record,
Bully.
They're permanently cloaked. They're permanently cloaked units. What else do you need?
I only heard the permanent cloak units. You're defending your DT addiction over here, mate. What
No,
the hell?
On stream when I played Molten last, I told everyone, I said, look, the next time I play in a cup, I'll just make only DTs for Molten, and it'll be like he won the series instead of me.
You love DTs, mate. What the hell?
You know what's funny? I used to never make DTs, and I'm talking like 2 months ago. I was not making DTs at all. And for some reason, just something switched in my brain. I don't know. Started making the DTs again.
I mean, a couple of
fell off
DTs
the
are
wagon.
okay. I mean, you had some good defensive DTs on Hecate. I don't really know why you played that 2-gate, by the way, but that's okay. You know, that was all right, but you just go DTs in every scenario. Even at the point where you have a Dark Shrine, it gets cancelled, or you see it got scouted, I guess, and you cancel it, and then you still make a Dark Shrine. What the hell is that?
Yeah, well, see, I canceled it because I thought, okay, maybe this will sort of bait an overreaction a little
What
bit.
kind of
and then-
overreaction? The guy, he had triple
Well, just
CC from the beginning.
Yeah, staying at home a little bit longer than he maybe wanted to. It could buy some time to get the defense together. Listen, I'm not saying it as if it was some sort of like strategic masterstroke that was foiled by the imbalance of Terran. I'm just saying, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures, and when you're playing against a 6K Terran, it can't possibly be more desperate.
I thought the first game, mate, you had such a good chance to actually win that game, like on multiple
Don't
moments. Don't
even talk to me about the first game. It was pain. Yeah, the start was actually quite good, I felt.
Yeah, I mean, the
fact that
supply
that
block
contain-
sucked. The supply block sucked, right? Because you
Yes.
supply block yourself at 46 for an entire pile, and then it's 70 again. But you still
Yeah.
kind of made something out of it. And because you kept the Nexus alive, it wasn't even bad for you. Like, it could really go somewhere, but you're just kind of all
Yeah.
over the place. And then you're like, DTs again. Even though that one DT was kind of good, but it was a bit of a shame.
I think what I really needed to do was just get a bunch of, like, get 2 or 3 Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
And then that allows me just to secure that 4th base. Because it was such a mine-heavy army, right? So, like, 2 Colossus being there or something like that instead of the DTs, I think I at least get that 4th base up, and then I have a chance to play the rest of the game. Now, that's obviously not the same thing as winning it, but would have felt a little bit better to get past that phase of the game.
Yeah, because you also went Phoenix, then you went Robo, but then you decided to go Twilight Council anyway. Whereas, like, if you want to go Phoenix Robo, then it would make a lot more sense to go Colossus before Twilight Council, no?
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was thinking. The thing that the logic behind dropping the Twilight Council and the DTs that early was like, if this contain is slow enough that I can maybe do counter damage, then I don't have to break it perfectly. But yeah. Listen, I'll be the first to say that every game I've ever played, win or lose, is a textbook definition of a skill issue. So so I'm not too concerned about it today, and I won't be too concerned about it tomorrow.
No, it was fun. I think the PvZ was fun, and yeah, it's a shame because you really had a chance in that first game. And also, I feel like you fall into a little bit of the upper 3 trap, and there's another Protoss who I watched a while ago. He has the same thing. Like, I guess Lino as well to some degree. It's like, you guys play such complicated StarCraft, man. This game is already so hard, and I feel like you make it so much harder by all these weird tech routes and all the gases. Like, just spam some Zealots, man. Like, we get a couple Phoenix, we spam some Zealots, and after that, we can worry about the more complicated armies. But I feel like you make an already very difficult game even harder on yourself by the way you play.
Well, not just the way I play, but I think the brain I'm working with doesn't help either.
All right, well, it was fun, mate. I obviously missed your intro, but I hope it was good. I think Vicky's about...
Of course. We gave Reynor the intro that he deserves.
Cool. So for the people who have no idea who Rostok is actually kind of a newcomer on the scene. He's been around for a little while, just kind of like Shameless. He got a whole lot better lately, and he's maybe not quite as good as Shameless, but he's kind of getting up there, as you guys can see. He's playing an alrighty game. Now, of course, playing an alrighty game is not going to be good enough when you play against the Italian Stallion, who's unleashed after being insulted by Reddit for a day and a half for a funny Twitter post. But the Rostok is your almost 6K Protoss that has good builds, kind of know what he wants to do, likes to be aggressive. Problem is that Reynor also likes to be aggressive, so then it kind of comes down to who's the quicker player, and I don't think Rostok is quite that quick yet.
Yeah, I think he's really had quite the come up in the last few months, especially, it feels like. And I know he's been grinding as he gets all of his he learned this from me, by the way, gets all his stalkers surrounded, and I think we're about to get run over by the roach button right now.
Yep, I think this is the end. Vicky's about to go. She's gonna have to speak Dutch all night. It's kind of her worst nightmare. Oh, double kill! No, not even a single kill. Unlucky.
Unlucky.
All right. Reynor
Yeah.
takes the 1-0 lead. Now, Reynor and MaxPax are on the same side of the bracket because they are C2 and 3 in this tournament. And that means that if MaxPax wants to do what I don't think anybody has ever done, and that is win 7 weeklies in a row that they have participated in, MaxPax would have to defeat Reynor in the semifinals and then Clem most likely in the grand finals. Do you believe that he can get 7 in a row?
I think it's definitely possible. I think he's just been playing really, really consistently, and as you pointed out earlier in the stream, 7.1K is pretty insane metric for someone to hit.
Yeah, apparently, it feels like the big boys of the European scene are playing a tiny bit more ladder again. And I don't think they're having a whole lot of fun with it because they still have moments where they just can't get a game for a long time. But yeah, obviously, if Clem is playing ladder, Reynor is playing ladder, and MaxPax is playing ladder, they don't lose a whole lot against anybody that's not a part of that little trio. So then, whoever starts doing well against the other guy among those three is obviously going to get a crazy amount of points. And I think that's why MaxPax now was, for the first time ever, able to get 7,100 MMR, which obviously is kind of insane. Alright, let's see how Rostok can do in Game 2. Game 1, it looked alright, maybe a tiny bit of nerves because he did have that double robo on the way when he really didn't need double robo, and I showed you guys that he cancelled it. Other than that, he kind of tried to play some Stalkers, some Oracles, and he was aggressive in a game where maybe he didn't have to because Reynor didn't have all that many drones. Let's see what he's going to bring to the table in Game 2. Ukrainian Protoss, CSO, or Rostok.
Going for the hatch block here right away. Maybe signals, at least when I get these off, I usually have some sort of plan to, take advantage of the fact that they've got a split hatch situation. That can be kind of an uncomfortable position for the Zerg to be in, so nice to get that hatch block and just force the natural to go down at the third base instead.
You don't want to do an intro, mate? What did you intro Reynor as? Why did you make Slowly upset?
Oh, I said that I'd never heard of him before. Must be some kind of up-and-coming ladder hero who won 5 in a row with Proxy Hatch and thinks he's a pro gamer. But then I switched it up and did a legitimate, genuine intro.
All right. So Reynor was full of confidence yesterday that today he was going to be the one that would stop MaxPax and his reign of terror of all the weeklies that MaxPax has been playing in. Today he was backpedaling a little bit, saying like, oh, that was before I got sick. That was before I lost a couple ladder games. But obviously if Reynor is here, he's going to do his best. And well, we've got a most likely very exciting semifinal to look forward to. I kind of feel it's F's in the chat for everybody who's on this side of the bracket, right? Because you need to make semifinal to get $50 or some EPT points. Making semifinals, if you have to defeat either MaxPax or Reynor, is a pretty tall order, but I guess we've seen crazier things in the weekly, but I kind of think that's how it's going to play out.
Yeah, that's got to be discouraging to know that pretty much no matter which way it ends up, that those are one of the two players you're facing. That's about as brutal as it can get, minus a miracle and Serral staying up past 8 p.m., right?
I don't know what you were trying to tell me, by the way. THU saying framing this as 7 in a row is a gambler's fallacy. MaxPax has normal chances. I'm not framing anything like anything. All I said is that MaxPax has won 6 in a row, which is a fucking fact, and that today could be his 7th. Like, I don't know how, in what world I am framing something here by saying what has happened the last 6 times that he has played, but apparently, Bully, we're framing something.
Well, and as a statistics tutor in grad school, I have to say that's not the gambler's fallacy. That's the hot hand fallacy, because it's not random chance that he wins these tournaments, right? It's his skill. So I am going to be writing a letter to your mother that you are failing statistics, and she is not going to be happy, guy in the chat.
One thing that we can say, though, is that it would be harder to win this one than it was to win some of the other ones, because Reynor did not participate in all 7 of those. And obviously, Clem did not in all of them either, but at least a couple of them, but not in all of them. So, all right.
Yeah, and he's certainly capable of beating, anyone on Earth on any given day. Maybe not, 7 times in a row every single time, but clearly he's that level. So, not a ridiculous thing to say.
No, but it's also just a story, right? Like,
Yes, of course. It is just a simple description of what has happened.
Yeah.
Also. That's true.
I never said it. I think MaxPax is going to win today, even though I believe that the chances are pretty high, but not necessarily higher or lower than they would have been if he didn't win the previous 6. I just said that he's going to try to win 7 in a row. I don't see how that can be something that someone can trip over, but apparently there is always
Twitch chat
something.
works in mysterious ways.
So far Rostok only got a single Zergling with his double adept move out. I did like, by the way, how you switched up all your openings, Bully. Is this something you do on purpose? Is this something you really believe in, that in PvZ you need to make it hard for the Zerg to figure out what you're doing?
PvZ in particular, as we have a little bit of a hiccup there. In PvZ in particular, I try to mix it up in best of 3s just because I feel like Zergs are more likely than other races to kind of have one opening that they're...
Yeah, are you still here?
Oh, yep, still here. Let me close the stream here and see if that helps.
No worries. It was working perfectly all the way up to that point where you just went silent in the middle of a sentence. Rostok does lose one of his oracles, by the way. And
an oracle for a drone is not a good trade.
One last thing, THU. I did not say that 7 in a row was going to be hard or whatever. Like, obviously it is hard to win 7 in a row, but that goes without saying. All I said is that obviously now he would have to play Reynor and Clem. While normally he plays also very good people, but not quite as good as Reynor and Clem to win weekly. And all of that is a fact, because Reynor and Clem are the highest 2 ranked players on the ladder. Anyway, that's enough. You've had your moment. I don't think I said anything wrong. You seem to think that there was. We're going to move on. What did you want to say, Bully?
No, I just think that Zerg players more than other races tend to have, a single opening that they're very comfortable with. This is at my level, obviously. And so the more that you can do to sort of force them to second guess that opening, maybe switch things up, the more likely you are to maybe throw them off a little bit. So that's just sort of the thought process behind that. And that's more so in a best of 3, obviously, than it is on ladder. In ladder, it's a little bit more practical to say, oh, today I'm just going to practice, this build or this opening. So
I think that's fair enough. We have a Robo on the way for Rostok, who is going to go for a recall. Obviously, already lost one Oracle. Will not lose the second one. He got 2 drones here. This really just goes to show how hard it is to play a good early game against Reynor. Reynor is obviously very quick. He's always on top of it. He will move those queens before you even think about sending one Oracle into a mineral line. I think overall Reynor's been looking pretty good. Seems like he's going to keep the game simple for himself. He queues up 9 roaches, 68 drones. Make it 11. I think there's a good chance that he's gonna get a... He doesn't have Overlord speed, but maybe just a queen walk. Maybe we're just gonna walk some queens, roaches, ravages, links to the other side of the map.
It does kind of feel like that might be the direction that we are headed. And the distance between the 6 o'clock base that he's taking now and this sort of linear third, which is now the 4th, is really not that far either. So I think that is definitely possible. And the army from Rostok is not looking particularly scary at the moment. It's really the oracles that are allowing him to kind of deflect these various pokins from Reynor, but they can't obviously be everywhere all at once. And as he moves into the 6 o'clock base, the Lings are going to move into the 3rd and try to see what they can get done.
Yeah, it's well protected though, right? We got a battery, we got a cannon. I think eventually this army's going to get surrounded. We can't forget that he just recalled, by the way. And Coco's second overcharge is a thing, but the second recall... No, that's something. You had a nice recall, by the way, Bully. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I thought to myself, okay, he's made nothing but Lings and Roaches and Ravagers. I'm really far ahead. What is the only thing I could do to lose this game? And then just my eyes went black, my hands took over, and I just thought, yeah, let's take all these stalkers and walk them across the map for no reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got the hatch. And I think if you would have just gone a little bit towards the right, it could have been okay. If you would have blinked everything behind the mineral line and then you would have just recalled as many safe stalkers as possible, it could have been okay, but that was the worst possible outcome. Reynor has, by the way, taken out the unit that was in the wall of, and he's now casually walking into the natural of Rostok. Kind of feels to me that Rostok almost gave too much respect to Reynor here, right? Where he's just like, I need to stay active because Reynor is going to go for a 7-minute hive, and if I don't do anything, lurkers are going to be in my face. But Reynor actually made an insane amount of basic units. And just like that, Reynor is maxed out after 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Kind of felt that Rostok was thinking of a phase in the game that we didn't really arrive to yet. And yeah, then he just died against a low drone count, but a crazy amount of units from the Italian Stallion.
Yeah, it's hard to play against a player who's significantly above you in level because you kind of get in your own head about how aggressive or defensive you should be playing, and yeah, in that situation, I think Reynor just was able to proceed very comfortably with the opening that he chose, and then by the time that Reynor can be attacking multiple locations at once, and you're sort of trying to have to fight with stalkers, which require so much attention, it's all but over at that point.